The more you know. Hello, party people. So last session, bad stuff happened. Okay, let's go. Um, we went to the bar. I don't know if I wrote down the name. Um, I don't think I did. Let me check here. I should have, but I didn't. Did I? No, I didn't. That's fine. We're gonna forget about it anyway because we're never going back to that floor again ever. Um, we went to a nice inn and we got a room. We were hanging out. We went up there. We were looking at the evidence that we had. Um, we found out that pretty much the only person that knew about the delivery was Heimdall and Ignacio, which like immediately kind of that's a bad sign perhaps. Um, and then we saw that he like traced the order like multiple times to the point where it bled through. So there was like these weird ink markings on the paper. And then we found a letter written from Wind Dancer to him that called him the fire starter. And it had a marker on it that had a lamp, like a oil lamp. Um, that's fun. That's fun. That's fun. Um, and then while we were doing that, I also like this. While we were doing that, Leopold went on the balcony, got harassed, started drinking. There was a couple on the balcony near him, and he like looked away, looked back, and when he looked back, two clowns are looking at him, and then he was like, "Nah," and he threw his whiskey and then he ran. And when he looked back up, the clowns or the clown mask. I mean, they were the clowns. They were effectively the clowns, but they were wearing the couple's clothes. Slit their own throats, died, and then he's like, "No." So he keeps running. And then when he gets into the bar, there's like people smiling at him and shit. It's weird. There's like people frowning at him. It's freaking him out. He talks to a guy, and the guy is like, "He was just so happy you're here," or some weird shit like that. And then he leaves the bar, runs out into the street because he sees somebody frowning at him from across the room, locked in. So he runs outside. The bouncer's like, "What's wrong with you?" But he goes, gets across the street. He's hiding, and then he hears the bells of the clown's shoes and little tinkly hats, and it's the two clowns again, but they're in different bodies. I forget what they were wearing. I think it was just like commoner kind of clothes. And then they like just started. He pulled out their gun, and they like did a little like curtsy and a little bow, and then he was like, "No," and he started running again, and then they started like just disemboweling each other. No, she disemboweled herself, sad, and then Happy cut out his own tongue. At which point, those two people were fucked. Level keeps running. He eventually gets far enough away. He like lays down an alleyway, and he checks out. He's done. And then guards come up to our room. We have to like hide the evidence. I think we charmed them, and that was like pretty much how we got away with it. One of the BDD guys was a little sussy, but he didn't push it too far. We went out looking for Leopold. We saw if there was like some BDD people around like the crime scene effectively. I don't think that we even knew about, like we as in the other four players actually knew about the neighbors getting killed. I don't even think we were aware of that. We get out into the alleyways. We manage to avoid the BDD. We find Leopold. We run. We have some good checks, so we don't have to do any combats. We just escape. We run through the city to the north to the Great Bridge. It goes across from the northeast side to the northwest side, connecting the financial district to the Aethra Academy district. And when we're like getting close, about to cross, we hear a little bell, tingle, tingle. Look up. Two clowns are in the window. It's like a lady in like a nightie and a little creepy Happy in a pajama suit. And they have a baby. And then Leopold goes, they threw the baby and then you jumped and shot? Or did you jump and shoot and then they threw the baby? Not that it really matters all that much. But they throw the baby, you jump, you shoot, you're going to shoot her in the face, but I think she shielded it. And then they fucking killed themselves. And then everybody jumps. We're trying to save this baby. Darren manages to catch the baby, which turns out to be like some sort of creepy clown doll that explodes. And then we all plummet down into Aurora with Featherfall. And that's where we ended the session. Did I miss anything? I think that's everything. All right, sounds like we're in agreement. And
we leveled up.
And you leveled up. You got a free trauma level. Darren, did you write down the name of that bar by any chance?
No, unfortunately.
Fuck.
Not.
Wait, the bar that was in the hotel?
Yeah. The nice one that we went to on the 101st.
I was sick last game.
Well, I can hope, somebody needs to scream whenever I say anything. Just write it down.
Listen.
I normally do.
Post it to fucking YouTube. I'll watch it and send you a message.
Hey, that's one way to do it. That's dedication.
If only
I do that whenever I'm in a party like this. It's like, oh, we record and post it on place. I'm like, I rewatched that last episode to remember what happened.
So let's go. This is the wrong game. This is the right game.
Not dedication, really. It's just I have a terrible fucking mind.
Abatha.
Sorry,
bitch.
what level are we now?
4.
Okay.
So if you haven't picked a feat or an ASI, do that now.
If you need a minute to do that, that's okay. Featherfall explosion. I don't know. Nobody went. I don't think anybody. I think we're all we're okay. Relatively. I do think somebody. I think we got. It was significant amount of damage that I think somebody that it took.
That was me.
Yeah.
Did you go? You didn't go unconscious though. You were just hurt. Pretty significantly.
If I look,
What happens when
I
a
think
Darren
I'm at
throws a bomb
half
at your
HP,
face?
so not too bad.
Okay, good. Because you have concentration on that Featherfall, so if you go unconscious, we're all okay. New campaign, let's go.
I think I got hit before I cast Featherfall, actually. Or maybe
You
not.
did.
I feel like I was concentrating on something else at the time.
I think you might be right because you jumped out, you got hit, and then I think you casted Featherfall. I don't think you casted Featherfall right away.
Yeah, you casted invisibility on.
Yeah,
that's what you were concentrating on.
So, there's that guy. As you guys kind of come to, not come to, but just take it all in. You're in Aurora, so there's these bright lights. There's loud sound. It's late at night. It's probably past closing, but Aurora is kind of the city that doesn't sleep. So it's still going out here. There's people walking around. People just watch this explosion happen, and they're in your face, all interested in what the fuck is going on with you guys. And what is your immediate? You get down here. You just have a variety of any race that you can pretty much imagine. That would be here, which is every single one of them. Down here in Aurora, bright purple lights kind of lining this kind of narrow, borderline cyberpunk city street. Pulsating lights, loud banging music, and just a bunch of people kind of surrounding you. Probably coming up. There's probably drunk people getting in your face, asking what's going on, what are you doing? What is your immediate thing? What do you do as soon as you kind of set foot down here in Aurora? Oh wait, you know what? I lied. Is this a session where we dropped? I forgot one bit. We fell down. We landed on the ceiling of Aurora. I'm still in the right place, but I forgot this.
Yeah,
part.
we were on the ceiling.
We landed on the ceiling of Aurora, and we found an access staircase. But we went down, and then we walked out. I'm still right, but I did miss that bit. We didn't fall into Aurora. We landed on the ceiling, found that access staircase, and then walked out into Aurora. So we're still in the right spot, and what I said is still holds true. But not the part where people down here would have been able to see the explosion, see you land. You're actually in this stairwell. There's kind of a crack in the doorway that leads out into the streets of Aurora. So it's actually calmer than I described. The clowns aren't around. There's no jingly bells. And you guys are together. You guys were all together down here. What's going on? Tell me how everybody feels.
I feel annoyed that I'm the only one who got blown up.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Are you saying this out loud, or are you?
Well, yeah.
No, she's just like looking visibly annoyed. Looking around at your like unblown up bodies jealously.
Just like sizzling. You're probably a little bit of smoke still on you.
Oh yeah, I have like the cartoon like soot, like hair blown back.
Luna will see this and like try to pat her dry, like, or like get rid of the smoke, and then cast Cure Wounds level 1.
Nice. That's nice. Look at you.
So that is 6 HP.
Okay, thanks.
You look terrible.
Oh, that's so rude.
Lies. I always look great.
Well, now you look better.
Fair enough, I suppose.
No one in the party's face is smiling or frowning, is it?
Oh God.
No. You
Okay.
right now, you're okay. I mean, maybe not okay, but
You know what
no.
was
Fucking
great
far
joke?
from it there, Peyton, alright? I mean, Leo's just like intently staring at everyone's face, waiting for it to smile, honestly, but he's just on guard and paranoid right now. That's the best I can
Actually,
describe him.
Leovold is the only one who saw that, so the rest of us don't even know that that could happen.
No, you don't. And he hasn't as of yet.
I haven't said
He
fucking
has
shit.
yeah.
Darren's just mentally the "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" meme with Court Bush. She's just like,
What the hell was that?
Who you asking everybody? Or
Yes.
anybody in
Which,
particular?
what do you mean? It's pretty obvious what that was, right? I mean, we all saw it.
Is it?
The fucking clowns throwing whatever that was off the edge, and
what happened? Because you were outside and then you weren't, and then the BBG is like showing up and is like, "You're wanted for murder," or not wanted. They didn't say that, but they heavily implied it.
I didn't murder anybody. The clowns, the happy and sad fuckers from the party, they're the ones that murdered him. You saw that, right? You all saw it.
I mean, we weren't there.
I saw the clowns just now. I didn't see them murder the people
They-
before.
They've been like, I don't know, they're chasing me. They're all over the city. I don't know why me specifically, but every now and then I just hear a bit of a jingle, like down an alleyway or right behind me, right out of the corner of my eye, and I turn to look, and there they are. So I've seen them like 4 or 5 times tonight.
That's awful.
Every
Wait.
single time they stare at me, laugh, and don't say a word. And then there was one time they slit their own throat and cut the gut open of someone. In the balcony, they took knives and cut their own throats there.
Yeah, I'm sure the BDD will believe that.
Some important details revealed each time. You definitely saw it. I think you saw it definitely the second time. It might have been, the masks like leaving. So the masks. I feel like you're already you as a player. Maybe you probably already realize mechanically how some of this stuff might be working. But give me an insight check to see if Leovold.
No, that's poetry right there, folks. That's a 6 because that's a nat 1.
Okay, cool. No, never mind.
Yeah, no, telling the story. He's pretty fucking out of it right now.
Honestly,
Why would
if it
the
were
BDD care?
Somebody saw you running away from those bodies. They made an assumption.
There's no proof that I did it.
Do you think they care about proof with how they are going after the lamplighters?
Murder and terrorism are two fucking different things.
Yeah, but there's no proof for them
They
either.
appear to be going after the wrong people for both of them. Real great here, guys.
How crowded is it around us? Are we by ourselves or?
You're in the bottom of this access stairwell, so it's like this metal just chute that goes up a level. There's a landing, and then it turns and goes up to the ceiling. And then out the door, it's pretty packed. It's probably like 30 minutes or an hour after like all the bars are probably like closing down, but people are still like out in the streets, keeping it going. Particularly because Progress Day is coming, so it's not here quite yet. It starts in a few days, but like people are already like, it's kind of already starting.
It's Mardi Gras. Well, if the BDD is looking for me, maybe you guys need to stay away.
Because that's a great idea. Just leave you alone.
You all already think I'm crazy as it is. The things I'm telling you, you don't seem like you all believe me. So
It doesn't make sense. It's not that I think you're crazy. It's that there's
But
something
Darren, what-
we don't understand.
since
I did
we've
see the
gotten here,
cloud
what has
people.
made sense? Not a damn thing has made sense since we got here at Grand Rise. It's been one fuck up after another in some way or form. And it doesn't seem to be slowing down, so I got no other options besides, unless you all want to be associated with a murderer through the eyes of the Grand Rise BDD, and I don't think the Captain or even his old buddy Heimdall can get us out of this mess right now. It's a whole nother story that we don't understand or fucking know about. But if I'm really wanted, do you want to be around me? Because then that means you will all be arrested too. Whatever happens to me will happen to all of you.
You could be wrong about Heimdall. Maybe he can get you out of this mess.
It's not that he can't. It's I don't trust him. The unit said that they're to help us for a job. We didn't even pick up a job. We just decided to do shit our own self. So somehow, some way, he knows of our decision making.
Darren, give me a perception check.
Point that little robot out at me, please.
Give me that little fucker.
Oof. It's a 7.
All right, never mind.
God, I know it was a robot. It's gotta be the robot.
Rolling hot tonight, folks. It's not like we can go back up there and talk to him. Does anyone here have a way to communicate with him from a distance?
We're talking about Heimdall here.
Could we use the book that we got? Or no, his name's crossed out. So
Wait, Heimdall's name is crossed out?
Yeah.
You're right.
And why don't we just tell the captain what's happened, and he, on his gracious behalf, goes and talks to him, and we just wait.
No, I think we try and figure this out. Like, I think we hole up somewhere and try and figure all of this out. Just take the evidence that we have, and if the guy, I don't know.
If we have evidence, that could be a bargaining chip with Heimdall.
Unless they were in it together.
Then why would Heimdall send us to get the evidence? That doesn't make any sense.
Not to incriminate himself. Maybe it's a power struggle. He's trying to overthrow the fucker. Or maybe, I don't know. A man that controls all the money in Grand Rise, and a man that controls the aether of it. Those two figures are very powerful. And if something happened between them to cause a rift, they could try to get rid of one another. And then just become like sub-emperor or king of Grand Rise. It's a far-fetched, but
No,
we have
it's
no
not a bad idea.
we have no reason to believe him or not to right now.
I mean, whether we trust them or not, I think one of them is significantly more favorable to us than the other. You think those clowns are still under that guy's orders?
I don't know that they were ever really under his orders in the first place.
I don't know. I mean, they just came through the door where me and Luna were at, and he didn't stay long, so maybe out of the two of us, they picked their favorite. I don't know. But if they are working for Valencio, then he somehow knows of us.
Well, didn't he see you?
No, I was in a guard disguise. I was full plated out, helmet and all. That fucker was heavy.
The creepy guys knew. They knew that you and Luna weren't. That you weren't a guard, and that Luna was there, and they knew that I wasn't Nettie. They knew that Damien was there, even when Damien was invisible.
Well, did they say her name specifically, or did they just like have a
No,
strange feeling?
no, they said that I wasn't who I was. I don't remember exactly, but that I wasn't who Valencio thought I was.
So they knew that you weren't Nettie.
Yeah.
They knew Damien was around him, even though he was invisible. And Luna was a fucking spider half the time on my shoulder, unknowingly. And I was in a full guard outfit. So maybe they just get a sense of maybe they can feel their way through magic, or I don't know. But if they don't know us by name, they can only like feel us out. We could be okay, but again, I've seen them 4 or 5 times tonight. The only time I didn't was when I fell asleep in the alley, and even then, I stayed awake for like 45 minutes before exhaustion kicked in and I just passed out.
How did you lose him?
I just kept running. Anytime I heard this little bell,
Yeah, that
Just
seems like
ran.
a solid plan. I'm gonna do that too.
I tried to shoot him. It didn't work. bounced right off their mask. And I don't have any other tools at my disposal right now because I haven't had time to make them. But they just seem to keep haunting me whenever there's people around. It's like
Have
they.
I ever heard of anything like this?
Probably not, but you can give me a history check.
Ugh. 13.
No.
Do I know of any, like, I guess it's probably just me, but, like, someone who, like, knows a lot, like an information dealer, or, like, someone with, like, a large network?
Do you know of like some type of information broker? That I guess this would be like kind of a seedier type of character, not like a high society kind of person, I imagine.
Most likely. Unless the clowns that this guy keeps are just, like, well known among all of his council friends.
Um, I'll give you a little bit of narrative power if you want to say that you know like a seedy kind of like maybe a gang or of some kind or something like that. That might be like an information broker, maybe between everybody, like kind of what would that be called? A free
Sorry, you're
agent.
cutting out for me.
Oh, my Wi-Fi just dropped. That hasn't happened in a long time. Am I still cutting out? Give it a sec. It's coming back now.
Yeah, that's
Um,
better.
Yeah, I used to have this issue a lot, and it hasn't really been a problem. But hopefully, that's not a thing that's going to start happening again. My home office will be done soon. I was saying that you could maybe know like a free agent type of like information broker that maybe deals between the various criminal organizations in the city. Maybe you met him at a bar or something when you were performing. You haven't been in Grand Rise from what it sounded like, if I remember correctly, that long. But
A few years.
that's long enough. I'll say sure. Why not?
All right.
Wait, let me put it in notes right now before I forget. He's a little bit hard to rank. He's a little bit hard to wrangle, but you know him as Mystavio, Mystavio. And he just kind of he has like a hand in all the different honeypots amongst like Dagger Sicario, Goner Ena, the Lamplighters, and he just kind of seems to always have his ear to the ground for like everything going on in the city. So if there was somebody that if you wanted to know information, he'd be a person to ask. He typically hangs out at a bar. Whenever you found him, you don't know how to find him. He just kind of shows up, or he doesn't. But he hangs out at a bar on the 35th floor called the Regal.
Sorry, I didn't quite get that. What was that?
He hangs out at a bar on the 45th floor called the Regal. Theregal.
The Regal. Okay.
And like maybe he's like an acquaintance, or like maybe you'd hazard to call him a friend. Alyssa seems like the kind of person who would call somebody a friend.
I don't know. I'll think about that.
But yes, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Give me I'll actually let everybody, including Luna, give me perception checks, but not a Darren because you've already done it. And then
Ooh,
That makes sense.
that's a 6.
Nat 20 for 25. I'm fucking paranoid, guy.
Tom.
If it's a jingle,
I'm fucking running.
16.
Okay. Okay. And also, if whoever, I don't remember who it was that had the book. I feel like it's either Alyssa or Darren. I don't remember which one it was though.
I think Darren would probably have it because I was trying to gather it up around the BDD.
Yes. Give me a history check for that. I want to see if maybe. Oh, yeah, I can throw some arrows. In this tight little steel stairwell, Luna, you can kind of hear like this, like everybody's talking, so it's kind of a little bit drowned out, but you kind of catch it. You know, your big ass ears kind of twitch, and you can hear like a buzzing noise. It doesn't sound like an insect or like a biological. It sounds like the whirring of like a fan almost. It's really quiet. But Leovold, you hear it maybe around the same time Luna does, and then you can't like unhear it. You're so paranoid. It starts to like almost drown everything else out. And it sounds like it's coming from behind a Darren, like around a Darren. Actually, you got a natural 20, so it sounds like it's coming like from behind a Darren, and then like maybe like up above her, like in the ceiling, like not literally inside of the ceiling, but like the ceiling in here is probably about 9 feet, so it's like 4 feet above a Darren's head, give or take. And Darren, what was that? Before we react to that, Darren, what was that history?
16.
So I did mention the like head of the Aethra Academy in there. I don't know if he would be particularly helpful or if you would feel like he's somebody that would be helpful. So maybe I'll kind of loop back around to him, but I did mention him as a name in the book. Also, I mentioned Professor what was that fucker's name? Humboldt. Yeah, Professor Humboldt was also in there, and he maybe he could be helpful in some way, possibly. He's in the book. But on a 15, there's one person in here that maybe would stand out a little bit more than the other people, and that would be the head of the BDD, and that's Vice Captain Roy of the BDD. His item that is in the little pouch is a BDD ring. Like it's like this like big fat like graduation kind of ring. It's silver and it has these like little dots on it that it's effectively like it's maybe a little bit too small to notice, but it looks like the archipelago on the face of the ring. And that's all it really says in there. It says BDD Vice Captain Roy. Beneath it, his full name would actually have to be in the book, which is Royland Branston. And he is in there with that ring. And then there wouldn't be many other noise. Below his name, Royland Branston, it would just say BDD Vice Captain. And I feel like I'm not going to make anybody roll for it. I feel like Alyssa would know the name as the like head of the BDD. He'd be the guy that if there's ever like some sort of public issue, he would be the guy that addresses it from a like public security perspective or something. So he'd be a pretty common name in Grand Rise.
But he's the vice captain?
That's just the title.
Well, then who's the captain?
That's a good question. I'm not going to answer it. You would know him as the head of you would just know that Vice Captain Royland Branston is the head of the BDD in Grand Rise.
Interesting.
And that's somebody that could potentially be helpful, though maybe risky. And there's a whole bunch of names in here. So if you're like, literally, if you were like, well, who's like the fucking like head of foreign trade, I would be like, it's this guy, and this is his information. There's everybody who's like a power player in the city is in this book, and maybe I'll like create a list of some people that are in here. But I'm not going to do it right this second unless you particularly ask for somebody.
Every single name right now. Let's go.
I want them all.
His like
I wanna know
personal
their
contacts
birthdays.
too. I want to know every friend this guy has.
I want to know his birthday. I want to know his favorite food. I want to know what's on the menu at his restaurant. So now that we've done that, I'm going to return back to the perception check. Leave old Luna to a lesser extent. You hear this buzzing. Luna, you kind of just hear it like kind of reverberating in the stairwell. Leave you're able to kind of hone in on it and hear it above the Darren. You don't see anything, though. There is no visual. It is a 25. Because you did get an extra 20, so actually I take that back. You'd be able to see like a slight distortion, almost like a flicker of like this like light. It would be really, really subtle.
In a world of neon. All right. As the group talks, he's just staring at that point, and he slowly takes his pistol out, feels that a round is in the chamber, and kind of carefully takes aim at that area.
The flicker, you'd have your eyes on it. It would really rapidly drop down, so it's like behind a Darren. And a Darren, you'd feel something like go into your, like down the back of your neck and like into your shirt. You almost feel like a bug crawled into you.
Like, Luna, did you turn into a spider again? You're still here, but there's something.
Yeah, I don't jump on. Yeah, that's not me.
Silvo frantically kind of like starts searching for the fucking thing, like, moving around a Darren and moving a Darren around. Like,
Ugh, what is that?
It slips
something
out.
just fell down.
It slips out of like a sleeve or maybe out of the bottom of a shirt or something. If you're wearing like, it'll slip out like a leg of a pant or something, and it'll zip up so it's like next to a Darren's head, and then the eyes will become visible. These two like little, it's like kind of slightly curved little blue lights, and it'll say, "Please don't shoot."
What the fuck is that?
Do I
Still pointing the
recognize
gun at him.
it?
Yeah, pointing the gun at this thing, and it just spoke. So
You would recognize the voice, yeah.
Brody?
I'm Rhodey, assistant robot to Hemdo. Please don't shoot.
Oh no.
you know this thing.
Yeah,
Haven't we seen Rhodey?
yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
I don't like robots. If it's invisible, I'm gonna cast fairy fire on it.
Wait, it's invisible.
We're in a very closed area, my man.
It fails. Everybody's like, ah! The burst of purple pink light. Brody's like,
Yeah.
It illuminates these two blades of light, copper casing of the body, little black face, looks like kind of like a mirror, and then the little blue light eyes. The two little blade that they're not like helicopter blades, they're like just like circular blades, like a they're not just like just a donut, little donut rings beneath him that rapidly spin. They kind of flash blue and pink light, keep him hovering there.
Hi, Rhodey. Why are you here?
Just give me one reason not to.
I was ordered by Hemdall to pursue and collect data on your group.
Wait, so he knows everything that just happened?
How long you been?
I don't have permission to speak to the duration of my mission.
Not helping your cases for not getting shot right now.
Yeah.
He might have transmitted the information already.
Fair enough.
So why was Heimdall spying on us?
Heimdall was concerned for your safety and interested in the status of Darren. And he like points to Darren, his little face flickers, smiles,
Darren specifically, huh?
turns. Yes.
I mean, she is pretty great. Fair enough.
Everybody loves a Darren, huh?
Especially robots.
Yeah, I don't like robots. I don't like metal.
You're a rabbit, so that makes sense.
I mean,
I am a robot. I like robots. We are friendly and helpful.
Darren, can you not give me a reason to destroy this thing right here, right now? Because you're pretty quiet right now.
I don't know that I could give you a reason. I think
I mean, we're in deep shit with the BDD.
seems like he knows
And
things.
he already knows everything,
It-
and there's no point for him to be around, right? Right? Okay.
But I think he also knows things that if we could figure out a way to get him to tell us.
He wouldn't tell me how long he's been looking on our conversation, so I highly doubt he's going to tell us anything else. I'll give you all 5 questions before I blow the thing
Okay,
into the
okay.
range.
Wait! Give me a minute. Hold on.
Leovold kind of steps back, gun still trained on it, cocks the hammer back, and he's ready to pull the trigger. They got 5 questions.
You see-
Darren is like, okay, I need to get something out of this, and is going to, for the first time, use both subtle spell and cast detect thoughts.
Rhodey?
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work, but
There's nothing in Rhodey's brain. It's just ones and zeros.
1 0
He
0
failed.
0 1 1 1 0.
You failed on the first save, so that means you have like the
I think surface.
yeah, it's like surface
Level.
level thoughts.
No, she gets that automatically. The save is if
Oh.
she wants to go deeper.
I
Yeah.
think, is it first save? I thought it was first save is surface level. And
No
then you-
save for the surface level.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
she decides to probe, I had a whole campaign where this spell came up like 80 million times. If she wants to probe deeper, then it's a save. But otherwise, she can pick anyone for I think 10 minutes or something like that, and just read their surface thoughts. Anyone she wants.
His surface level thoughts are pretty well. You successfully probed, for the record, but the surface level thoughts are pretty. He is continuously repeating in his head very quickly. RTKF1, objective compliance. He says afraid a lot, and then he'll repeat RTKF1, objective compliance.
Okay, guys, what questions should we ask? That's what. Why is Heimdall interested in us?
Are you still detecting his thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rhodey will say that he says, Heimdall wishes to apprehend the one who blew up your ship and destroyed your cargo. Internally, give me actually an intelligence check. And Darren, you can do this at advantage.
Oh, love it.
With guidance.
Math. Is this just a flat, like, my intelligence modifier?
Yeah, this is intelligence to see if you can understand his thoughts because he's a robot.
$16.
So at first, there's a little bit of a disconnect between your humanoid mind and this robotic mind because the way he processes thoughts is through like electric. I mean, it's your brain's electrical signals, but he's literally, like you said, ones and zeros. But the picture of his thoughts kind of becomes clear to you, and you're able to decipher some of them, but it's not entirely clear. What you're able to pick up is that by he, I mean Heimdall, is particularly interested in your group because of what he is calling, what you're able to pick up and decipher as I want to say this. I don't know if I have a choice. Yeah, I don't think I have a choice too much. Heimdall is interested in what he is calling, there's like a little bit of a disjoint where there's like some stuff in between you can't quite understand. But the original clockwork heart.
Okay, does anybody else have a question? We've got 4 left. What?
Brody, he turns, he kind of floats, he's floating, and he turns to you, Darren, and he says, I'll answer your questions. I don't know why the artificial limitation of 5.
It just seemed like a good number to put, and plus I can count it on one hand while pointing a gun at you. So down to 4.
My objective is in strict what's the word I'm looking for? What is the opposite if you can't? What's the opposite of compliance?
Defiance?
Oppositional? Yeah, it's close. I can't think of it. I'll think of it later. But like, damn it. Oh, let's just back. Hey, camera.
Hey.
My objective means that I cannot cause you any harm. There's no reason to harm RTF.
Information that you're gathering is pretty harmful, so you are harming us in a way, just not physically.
Wait, sorry, what happened?
When did you leave?
Brody asked why the limitation of 5 questions. Leovold replied, because I can hold up one hand and count down and point a gun at you.
Lost like clarity, I guess. When Darren was reading his thoughts for the first question.
Surface level was just him being like afraid and repeating RTKF1 objective compliance and fear, like the emotion of fear over
Yeah,
and
I
over
got
again.
that part.
His deeper thoughts were about Hemdall being interested in the original Clockwork Heart.
In the original
And
Clockwork Heart.
didn't you say that he was the cause of the
Clockwork.
nomad exploding?
Clockwork?
Clockwork.
Yeah, that was the thoughts, the deeper thoughts. What he outwardly said was he wants to figure out who blew up the shipment in Nomad.
Liar. Here, come on, you're down to 4. I don't care. Ask him what his favorite fucking color is. At 1, he's getting shot.
Hank.
What's the Clockwork
Brody likes
Heart?
Hank.
3.
Wait, 3. What was the fourth one?
What's his favorite color, apparently? And he answered, so that's on him. Down to 3 questions.
Brody does not know what the Clockwork Heart is.
Well, I don't think any of us know besides Darren what that is. Like that.
No, but
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
asked
Darren knows
it.
either.
Well, this is what I was asking.
I don't want the fucker around us personally.
The deeper thought, give me an intelligence check again with advantage.
Let's choose this die. Ooh, that is 22.
He says in his body, in his circuits, that the Clockwork Heart is a relic that predates Grand Rise, that simulates life.
I don't know what Heimdall wants, but I am questioning whether it's what I thought it was. Rhodey, did Heimdall have anything to do with the Nomad explosion?
Absolutely not.
Insight check.
Give me an intelligence check.
Is there any flickers or anything? Can I insight check that little bastard on that statement?
You give me an insight check. It's gonna be. I don't know that it'll be
19.
And my intelligence check is a dirty 20.
He looks pretty solid. Dirty 20.
So,
His deeper thoughts are that Heimdall was indirectly responsible for both the Nomad and the bar's explosion.
Did Heimdall want the explosion to happen?
Of course not. It was his shipment on board.
I'm giving Darren bardic inspiration.
You get intelligence with advantage.
It's not an advantage, it's a d6.
She has advantage, and then she has wisdom.
Luna's still guiding her? Because, God, that's a D4 it has it on, too.
Yeah, yep, guidance too.
What's that? 17. I rolled real bad. I rolled 2 5s. And then a 1 on the d6. But yeah, 3 on the
what was the-
guidance.
The original question was, what was the original question you asked him? Would he want the
Did he want the explosions to happen?
The deeper thoughts are, you said you got a 17?
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little bit harder to parse. There's like an uncertainty in his own thoughts, that you kind of think that maybe it's like almost like it comes across to you as almost like irrelevant is almost the word that you're coming to, and then after that process you're not quite able to completely decipher. He says that the prime directive was the removal of Valencia.
Okay. Guys, Heimdall wasn't like he didn't order the explosions, but he might have been like indirectly responsible.
Are you asking this to Rhodey?
No, I'm no, I'm gonna wait.
You're saying this. You're processing this information.
Yeah.
So Leopold holds up all 5 fingers, and as they ask, he slowly counts down to that last one, and then looks at Rhodey and goes, "Bonus question: what do you know about a fucking jester that has a happy and sad face mask?"
Ooh, good question.
I know that they are Valencio's bodyguards, and that they are very dangerous.
Bonus question. How do you make the dew of the mountain?
Go to the mountain and collect the dew from the morning. Everyone knows that.
The primary ingredient in the dew of the mountain is water. The secondary ingredient is sugar. The third ingredient is lime.
Okay.
Sounds really good, actually.
Yes, it's delicious. One day
There
I
are
can
an
make it.
assortment of other non-natural ingredients as well, including a small amount of etheric component.
All right, this ain't a question. This is more of a command. Tell me everything you know about the happy and sad faced mask wearing jesters.
Rhodey does not know much about happy and sad. He knows that they are paid by Valencio to watch his estate and keep his personal body safe from harm, and that they are 2 strange individuals who themselves have no corporeal form.
What are they?
Wait, what do you mean they don't have? They seem pretty fucking corporeal to me.
Happy and sad are the masks.
Are they like living masks? What?
Their origin is unknown to Rhodey.
Is their origin known to Heimdall?
Not that Rhodey is aware.
Uncock the gun, put it away. You go tell your buddy old pal Heimdall and ask him what he knows about those 2 fuckers. When he tells you, whatever he tells you, you just immediately come back. Don't hide. Just fucking show yourself. Tell us, because they're kind of just stalking me.
Would you like for me to arrange transport to the Flying Gardens?
Fuck is just looking at everyone. What the fuck's a flying garden?
Was that where I was before?
Yes.
Okay. It's where the robot guys took me. It's like Heimdall's base? Ship?
And where would that be exactly?
This is like
The top
separate.
floor?
No, the is well, it's like it flies, so it can go kind of.
Currently, the Flying Gardens are above the 101st floor.
So he has a moving palace, as it were.
Yes.
Right. All right. That's a lovely thought. He can be anywhere he fucking wants. How would you arrange transport, Rhodey?
I would call for one of his gyrocopters.
How long would it take to get here?
Approximately 37 minutes and 55 seconds.
Precise.
You like punctuation. That's nice. So, should we just say fuck it and go on our own, or do you all feel like talking to Heimdall himself? Never met the man. Look forward to it.
It might be worth it. I don't know. Lucy could keep us safe for a while.
We do need help with those clowns.
Luna, do you ask that question? Or do you ask that question? The one that you put in the private chat.
That's just private chat, not asking out loud.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to ask it, but didn't feel like talking for some, you just woke up a little bit ago or something. Just wanted to make sure.
What's
Leader.
the answer?
Heimdall.
Heimdall? Is it
Plot
Heimdall?
twist.
I mean, you're gonna have to ask it out loud, my man. I haven't shot him yet, so you can technically.
Mr. Rhodey, who's the real leader of the Lamplighters?
Or he turns to you. The little like four blades turn, and he says, "I was hoping that the evidence that you were able to acquire would have revealed that." Darren, you can give me an intelligence check with advantage. I guess probably guidance.
Ooh, I don't need it. That is 23. I mean, I guess it could, but
I'm very smart.
Going up.
You can perfectly decipher his thoughts this time. You're kind of like getting locked into the computer brain. The leader of the Lamplighters was killed in the first hole incident. He's been dead for... Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm
loving it.
Dude. So he's been dead for approximately 3 years. The original Leo, it doesn't matter who he was, he's dead now. Heimdall has been giving directives to him.
Say that last part again. Sorry.
Oh, I'm doing that thing again. My Wi-Fi. I think it's because my brother's home. I think maybe he wasn't home for a long time because there was construction going on in my house. And now that he's home, he's fucking up the Wi-Fi again. The last bit was that Heimdall has been acting as the leader of the Lamplighters since then. Or the thought process would specifically be that Heimdall has been giving directives to the Lamplighters since then.
Darren's eyes, when she hears it in her head, are gonna get real big. It's gonna be like,
Yeah, that's not noticeable at all.
oh.
He turns. He says, "Mr. Darren, are you okay? I noticed a high spike in your stress hormone."
Okay, it's kind of weird that you can tell that. Just processing a lot of information.
Where would your
Would you like for me to administer a calming drug?
No, please
Yes,
don't.
me, please. I would love that.
Mr. Leovold, would you like an amnestic?
I really don't like the fact you know my name, even though I know they've said it fucking 50 million times. But yeah, I need something to calm this heart rate down and paranoia and other problems I'm having.
Is it really paranoid if you have a reason?
Do I though? I've seen him
point.
once. I've seen him like 6 times.
A little compartment opens up, and a little cartridge. I think there's a bunch of different needles like in a line, and this like little. There's like 5 of them in a line with a clear fluid. It says, "I can administer an amnestic or a calming drug if you would prefer. I just need your verbal compliance."
Shoot me.
The needle just shoots out, hits you in the shoulder. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, or you can just choose to fail.
He'll just choose to fail.
You suffer the
After-
effects of calm emotions.
Sweet.
Oh, and you take a little bit of damage. 4.
Damn, Rhodey
Bunch
can
of
shoot.
Brody and all other RTKF series automatons are equipped with multiple firearms.
There are more of you?
Yes.
Are you the same one that I met before?
No.
I feel so betrayed.
You're mad it's not the same person?
Do you
Yeah.
like share a mind or something?
No. I don't know. I just made an assumption. I probably shouldn't have with all the robot guys hanging around.
Brody does not share a mind with the other roadies, but we share the same systems and we are privy to the same information.
Before you go off and get our transport, how was Unit 1 and 7 doing? They seem to take a little bit of a beating when we last saw them.
Both units 1 and 7 have been, unfortunately, dead is not the correct word, but made obsolete.
Dismantled.
Decommissioned.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, I blew one of them away in the sewers, and I saw that same unit out in the gardens. So maybe they need just a little bit of a piece of them to come back. I'm not entirely sure. I have his chassis right here in the bag.
Brody's head turns. Or his whole body, rather, because he's just a circle, a little guy. Their system information has been saved and they will be rebuilt.
So 37 minutes. And some change. For
55 seconds.
okay. Well, I'm all out of questions, and I'm happy just to sit around and chat for a bit, I guess.
In order
Evil.
to receive the gyrocopter, you must ascend to the 99th floor or ascend to the 101st floor, as there is no access point here on Aurora.
I wish you told me that before you shot me with the drug. Hey, so which one's closer to us right now?
They are both of a similar distance.
You're a wonderful help. Wonderful help.
Maybe we go down where there's not a bunch of people.
If you return up this access tunnel, the gyrocopter can find you.
On the ceiling?
Yes.
We'll sit here for a bit. Till we... I don't know. Any ideas from the peanut gallery? I'm more than willing to go talk to this Heimdall fella.
Would Alyssa have mentioned the person that she was thinking of? Or
Yeah. Sorry, I was away for a minute. What are you talking about?
I think
Whether
I'm
we
just
go to
trying to...
Heimdall or go to your contact.
I think Heimdall is safer from clowns.
I shut the fuck up, Peyton. Don't laugh about that, man. Listen, Leeville needs a safe space. Okay. Tons. What floor was your contact on?
45.
45.
That would be closer to us right now, wouldn't it?
No, you're on the
Aren't we on
100th floor.
floor 2?
Oh God. Oh, it's reverse,
Well,
ain't it?
If you're going reverse, yeah, the first floor is 101st. People call it the first floor, but it's the top floor.
So we gotta go either to floor 44, which is really far down, for her contact. What was the floor Brody said?
If you go
Well,
back up the
Isn't it
if
just
you go
like
back up this,
above?
yeah, if you go back up the stairwell and wait on the ceiling of Aurora, the gyrocopter can reach you. Aurora is like encapsulated, so there is no aerial access.
Well, I'm game for either one. Either way we go, we're gonna have an interesting conversation.
I mean, I'd love to see Mustavio again, but I can't pass up the chance to meet Heimdall, you know?
I mean, you could, but who would?
Well, not with those jesters breathing down our necks.
I don't think it's your necks they're breathing down, just specifically mine. Which,
I don't know.
I
They could be
kinda
after
saw-
all of us, and you were just the first one they saw.
if that's the case, I don't envy any of you. Good luck. Just keep running. That's what I did. All right, Roddy, go get the thing.
Has Adarin told us like all the answers that she got?
No, because Rhodey's
Not at
still
all.
there. So
Okay.
Guaranteed. She may not
okay,
at all.
Mr. Leovold, Rhodey will go. And he turns invisible and just drifts away.
Bad guy. Not creepy. Not bad.
Yeah, he's nice. I like him. I want one.
I slowly start walking up the stair, very slowly.
I don't know if Heimdall is bad, but I don't know that he's good either. So,
Well, knowing that
just-
Rich is good.
oh, that's fair. That's fair. I think just be on guard.
True.
I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick. Darren, are you not gonna tell them?
Hey, that's up to her.
Ugh. I'm still debating what details.
I like it. Don't tell them. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah, I love it.
I think she's just still processing through it all. And like, I think the way Darren works is like she wants more answers. It's not clear to her, so she's like, I can't give them more answers until
Yeah,
I
it's not
understand
publishable
more.
yet.
Exactly. She's like, I got to do some more
Fuck your
research.
publisher.
This is gonna get destroyed in peer review. I have to
I gotta
get one.
fact check it.
Yeah, my sources are not good. I'm not gonna be able to cite anything. My citation is gonna be a little weird robot. I'm gonna get my drink real quick. I'll be right back. Connors came in, so he is
Hi,
in for.
Connor.
Hey guys, yeah, I might need a little bit of a freshen up. But
It's fine. You
We've
didn't
just
miss
been
anything.
talking.
We literally been talking to Rhodey.
wait, which one's Rhodey?
And
My bad.
Darren evidently isn't going to tell us what Rhodey actually
awesome.
thought, so it's actually better if you don't know.
I
Is,
mean,
is Rhodey the little guy?
yeah, the little
Yeah, the
robot
little
that
robot.
follows
Okay.
Darren around.
Apparently.
Also, we're not level 4 yet, right?
No, we are.
No, we are.
Oh, we are. Okay, hold up.
Yeah, no, level yourself up, bud. You're gonna need it. Especially if we decide to go to Heimdall, which we kind of have, but kind of haven't.
I'm back. What happened? Where did Payne go?
He went to go
Right
get a
away.
drink.
Oh, okay.
When did you leave?
I put BRB in the chat.
Oh
I
wow,
don't-
like 5 minutes ago. Okay,
Yeah.
you didn't miss much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I was getting alerts on my phone that the Mets just won, so I'm hyped.
Win the World Series. No, you didn't miss much. I'm assuming we're gonna go see Heimdall. I mean, I sent Rhodey off to go. So
Oh,
So
did you
how-
take that shot though?
nope, I didn't shoot him. He started answering questions about happy and sad, and Leovold was like, "That's good enough to stay alive. You know a little bit about him."
On a scale of 1 to 10, like how suspicious are we of Heimdall?
Oh,
Like a seven-
fucking
like-
11.
Okay,
okay.
just making sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty
But-
suspicious.
But to be fair, that's player knowledge. Character knowledge, it's up to whatever you decide. Honestly, like Leovold's probably at a 5, 6. Unless, Darren spills her guts and tells us every single thing that she just read the mind of.
Do you guys have any recommendations for feats that would upgrade like my
Dokily
constitution?
dokily. Sorry, go
Constitution.
ahead.
Yeah, I thought
Well,
there
you
was
don't like
more.
magic, so I was gonna say,
Aberrant Dragon Mark?
yeah.
I mean, he is
Aberrant
Hey,
Dragon
Payne.
Mark makes a lot of
kind of
sense, doesn't it?
work.
Gives
What?
you
Would we be able to homebrew like a constitution feat that could maybe help me out a little? I mean, like it doesn't have to be a good feat. I just want like there's not really a lot of feats other than durable in the D&D stuff that give you a +1, but I mean we could talk about it later.
What do you
but-
want?
You could do
And
like
that-
skilled.
I forgot we were level 4, so I have 19 constitution right now, so I was trying to
Hold
get
on.
20.
I'll
You
figure
take
it out for
skilled,
you.
tough. No, tough only gives you HP. It doesn't give you con, does it?
Yeah.
Aberrant Dragon Mark.
Yeah, Aberrant Dragmark's really good. You get +1 con. You learn a cantrip and a spell from the sorcery. A bunch of other
Oh, you
stuff.
can choose stuff from Eberron?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
can-
know I could. Ooh.
Well, you see, the funny thing is, if y'all join my fucking campaign I made for everybody,
I did.
Yeah.
you
I
did. Yeah, you're the
can't.
only one. This is not directed
I
towards you,
can't.
Judy.
I
I
have
promise.
to-
Alyssa, I'm actually
Okay.
curious. Is his campaign working for you? Do you have all the information on his thing?
So, well, the thing is, I just bought the book that I needed myself. So,
Yeah, I
Oh,
bought
sorry
books
about
too.
Don't pay those bastards. Let me
Is
pay
there
them.
a
I
way
had
to
to.
hide my character
When I do it, it's
details?
attack.
Yeah, just don't make it
oh, can you see
public.
everything about every character?
So if you go to your
You can- if-
character, like if you go to, manage your character, but you have to go all the way to home, scroll all the way down. It says character privacy. Toggle viewing of your character to private. Only you can see your character. Or public. Anyone with the link can now view your character.
What if I join the campaign and you see?
If I click on it, yeah, but I'm not gonna click on it. I only made the campaign because of these custom made fucking magic items.
So, average drag mark would work. I can try to think of something.
chef.
We can,
Chef works.
Does chef increase your con?
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Really?
mean feat though, but no,
It does
honestly,
increase your
that-
honor wisdom.
I just start cooking for no reason. But
Just
I do not trust his cooking. I come
No.
in and he's about to kill a child.
I was
game.
second guessing myself. Okay, no, but like the dragon mark actually seems like it would be very in line, especially if I pick like an ice based cantrip or
Mhm.
something. I feel like that would actually fit. So I'm probably don't do that.
You could take. I mean, chill touch isn't ice based. We could just flavor it as it's ice based. I mean, can you take? It has to be from the sorcerer. So
There's also
that's-
frostbite, but yeah,
That's
chill
true.
touch.
Yeah, there's ray of. Don't you have? No, you have ice knife, right? You have ice knife.
Yeah, and
Ray of
I have
Frost.
Ray of Frost. I think I have too.
If you're doing
Yeah,
all
Ray
this
of
ice
Frost.
stuff, you should take Elemental Adept.
I could, but I mean, I only have a couple spells. I'm not really a big spell guy, so
He
We're
wants
all
that
in.
sweet,
We're all-
sweet.
I also have resistance to ice anyway, so I don't really.
He
need
wants that sweet 20. I will say that because this is like a high power, high fantasy, we're gonna do some ridiculous shit as it gets later into the game.
if that's the
I
case.
I will allow you to go above 20 in stats if you want to.
Oh,
Would you allow him to get like a feat that's only prerequisite for a race?
Would I
Is
allow him
it-
to take a feat that is for another race that
specific
he's
race?
not?
Yeah.
What is the feat?
Infernal Constitution is for tieflings. It increases their constitution. They gain resistant to cold and poison damage and have advantage on saving throws against poison. I don't know his character.
I'd allow him to take that, but I do think that I think Aberrant Dragonmark might be better because he already has resistance to cold. But resistance to poison isn't bad though. That's one of the most common damage types, so it's not bad to have that. So I won't catch up Connor right now. You missed a lot.
We just
But it's being
we
deliberately
kind of kept him
from
in the
us.
dark,
So
like, specifically because Caitlin's like still
And, yeah,
leading through the
technically-
process.
Technically, you don't. Yeah, technically, Rhodey didn't really answer any questions. So
No, he said some random shit.
no, he said that Heimdall was very concerned for our well-being.
So you guys wait the 37 minutes and 55 seconds. It's a little bit longer than that because Rhodey has to go and get it. So it actually isn't 37 minutes and it's 37 minutes 55 seconds since he sends the gyrocopter. So it's actually like 42 minutes and like 30 something seconds.
he lied.
That
He
bastard.
gets shot.
Come with the gyrocopter.
Straight to jail. Right to jail.
A copper sphere with like metal
Alyssa doesn't even
panels,
notice.
metal windows on the side. These big glass doors rather on the side, with a single like helicopter blade at the top, and then two like little propellers on the side. They're like directional. Descends down into the chasm that you're in because you're at the bottom of that big chasm on the 101st. It descends down, hovers like just a foot above the ground, and the two doors release, go up, and there's the open space side. There's two like nice like velvet kind of like couches next to there with enough room for like three people on each side. So there's enough room for you guys to sit in there. Obviously, you guys climb in, sit down. Once you are all inside, the doors automatically just close back up, and the gyrocopter will start to ascend. Is that what happens? I mean, I'm assuming it is. I made some decisions for your characters there, but just expediting the process. You guys fly up into the air above the 101st. As you rise up, I won't make you do a perception check. You can. It's late, but you can see that the area that you were in is very much alive. There's like lights. There's people moving around. A whole bunch of BDD down there. You go up above Grand Rise, and then a little bit to the northeast and you can very clearly see the pretty big structure of the floating gardens hovering in high up in the sky. It is a flotilla of a bunch of different interconnected structures that are all being held aloft by massive propellers and then like various etheric propulsion systems. Like this big, massive mechanical structures that are just emitting like blue light. There is in the back like kind of like a pirate ship looking structure, and then there are more like all of these like walkways that lead to these big glass, almost looking like greenhouses, and there are like just a bunch of gardens around there in the northeast corner. So the pirate ship is in the northwest corner, and then there is like a bunch of little walkways coming off of that go down to these gardens in the south side that are like these big glass greenhouse type structures. And then the northeast corner there is like some sort of like big it looks like a painted glass, almost. I mean, it almost looks like kind of like a cathedral in the northeast corner. And there are like smaller structures kind of throughout, and you can see as you get closer there are like a bunch of little robots that are like attending to the gardens, and you do see several larger I would I'm hesitant to call them golems, but they are effectively golems. There are these large metallic. I would maybe in like D&D terms, like an iron golem, that are also walking about the grounds, just sort of like patrolling. You see one of them that is like tending to a larger, some sort of like tropical tree, and it has like a really large pair of shears, and it's like lopping off various branches. And there are also these almost like spider-like contraptions that are probably 3 feet long, 2 feet off the ground, that are also, you see a few of these that are moving about as well. And they have these sort of like side tentacle-like arms that end in like grasping claws that are moving around, assisting the smaller robots that are attending to the gardens as well. The gyrocopter flies past all those things, goes past the pirate ship, and then lands on the opposite side of the pirate ship down this little landing bay. And there are like 5 gyrocopters that are seated. It lands in like an empty gyrocopter bay. The 2 doors pop open, and you guys are allowed to exit out. And there's a big open entryway into the actual like pirate ship, maybe 30 or so feet away. Even on here, there's a bunch of these little robots scuttling around, tending to these like plants that are hanging off the edge of this landing pad. And the pirate ship itself, there are like a bunch of like tropical and nearly like almost like the otherworldly plant life that is like coming out of this wooden doorway and like cascading over the entryway down into the sky. And you can see that past there, inside of this like wooden hull of the ship, there are a ton of, it's like there are plants, and there's like water streaming from the ceiling in like various places. And then it's like very quiet, just the sound of this, like the mechanical clacking of these little robots at work. And then this subtle sound of just like these little bits, streams of water that are coming from seemingly nowhere. You aren't like immediately greeted by anybody. There's not like a roadie that flies up. There's not like Unit 3 doesn't come walking up. You just hear on this landing pad, you get the gyrocopter, and you're here by yourselves.
How do we know it's a pirate ship?
It very much looks like this one structure is, it's like literally just a wooden boat.
Okay.
It doesn't have like a mast or anything, it's just the outer hull of a pirate ship that is connected to this larger mechanical structure.
Okay.
I won't make you roll for anything. It almost looks like the rest of the structure has been built around this ship.
Huh.
If Leopold picks up one of the small robots that are like tending the garden, can he do a investigation, or like just he's curious on how it's working? If it's working like the units with like an Aether compartment, or if it's some type of other mechanical or magical means.
Give me an Arcana.
Plus 6. 24.
It has the one that you pick up is just like this, just like a cylinder, pretty much, with like a clear half sphere top. And then it has like 4 little kind of like spider legs. And then out of the sphere, there are 2 little tentacle arms that are reminiscent of the larger spider-like robot arms that end in these grasping claws. They have like 4 fingers that clasp into like one kind of like pyramid-shaped grasping device. On the back of the small cylinder body, there is a tiny, like I'm tempted to call it a battery pack, and there is like a subtle hum and glow that comes off of it, and you think it probably takes a very small amount of Aethra to power it for a good bit of time. And the robot itself is made from copper, besides the sphere top, which is a clear glass, and you can see down into the body of the structure, and you can see the copper tubes that feed into the battery pack and power the rest of the mechanical body. It's pretty advanced, like all things considered. And I would say that it is reminiscent of some of the stuff that you worked on in stuff that you did.
Yeah. He's going to do that to like a couple of them just to see if they're all like that or if they're made differently. No need to RP that. But that's what he's going to do like on the way to wherever we're going. He's just going to see like a small robot, pick it up and like start kind of tinkering with it, but not messing with it.
When you pick them up, they don't like really struggle too much. But as you go through, it does seem like each robot has like a subtle difference in personality. Some of them are like, you just pick them up, they like immediately just like not deactivate necessarily, but they just like just submit and just like, just their arms drop. They almost go to a point, like a stagnant point, and you put them back down, they immediately come back and start going about their work. Other ones kind of panic, and they saying they're communicating is a stretch, but there is like a series of like chirps and like different whirring noises and stuff that are almost, they definitely convey like a sense of personality. Like you pick up one and it kind of panics and freaks out, its little arms start like going crazy. They all do appear to be like effectively the same, although you do pick up one that does have a compartment that has there is like a very clear little rectangular compartment in the front of it that after looking inside the glass sphere, there is some sort of some sort of ballistic device inside of its body, and you put that one back down and it runs off.
Alyssa is trying to pet them.
They would take pets.
All right, great.
Darren
Can I
starts doing
adopt one of them and
same.
have a familiar?
I mean, I'm picking them
Give me
up.
give me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Give her guidance.
I have an argument over that, but okay.
It's not an animal, you son of a bitch.
Yes.
14.
You do go around. A couple of them like scurry off when you come near, but a few of them do like allow you to like interact with them, pet them. Some of them react a little bit differently. Some of them like a little coy, kind of, and then as you touch them, they kind of relinquish. One of them is pretty receptive to it, but then after like 5 or 6 seconds, it does eventually like kind of pop back and makes a couple of these little like chirp noises, and then there's this like, loud whir, and then its body kind of shakes for a second, and then it like straightens up and then just skitters off. You feel like you were close, like you almost had that one. You're like, damn it, almost.
During all 3 of our antics with these little robots, are any of the big ones ever like on their way over or anything like that? Like
over here on this landing pad, because the next objective is the ship. So all of this like interaction with these little robots would just be ones that are tending the plants that are out here on the landing pad and like outside of the front of the door into the ship. There's a lot of these little robots. They're only like this. They're only like that big. The bigger robots were over by the greenhouses, so like they're like on the other side of this facility. as you guys get a little bit closer to all you can wait towards the ship, you can start to hear sounds of music coming from inside of the pirate ship. And as you round into the pirate ship itself, down you're on like the initial, like what would be almost like kind of like the helm, which is obviously all stripped out, and it's mostly just made way for gardens and for some copper piping that has water that streams down into these like little kind of recessed grooves that create these little streams around on either side of the edges of the room that you're in. It goes down and creates a little waterfall that cascades over the side of this landing. There are stairs that go down to a second lower floor, and in that second lower floor, Darren, you obviously have been here before. In the middle of that room, there is the space where you were lowered down into something. But sitting there at this little table where you originally saw the captain of Hemdall is Hemdall. And in the back of the room, there are some humanoid-looking robots. One of them is set down playing a harp, another one is picking at a guitar, and Hemdall has some drinks and stuff sat on the table before him. And there is like a robot standing behind him with a little napkin over its arm and a tray. And as you guys kind of come in and are revealed to the room, Hemdall would stand. He kind of struggles up as he grabs his cane, pushes himself off of the ground, and takes like one very difficult step forward. And then he kind of rests his cane in front of him. He's wearing this like mint green suit with this like penguin tail, kind of pinstriped little the tails at the end of the suit at the back. It's open. There's like this frilly frocked white shirt underneath, and then a lot of copper buttons and like copper. There's like a chain that runs from a chest pocket, and then he has these like really strange copper heavy like thudding boots on that have gears along the back side of them. And he stops there maybe 10 or so feet from the stairs that go down to the floor that he is on. You guys are above him, probably about 15 feet. Him looking up at you. Thank you for coming to my gardens. Come, sit. I will get more chairs. I'm glad you're all safe. Come.
So are
come.
we, buddy.
He turns, he kind of limps over. He points to the robot. The robot immediately bows and like goes off. And then as his back is turned to you and he's walking back towards his chair, he kind of yells up at you. So, there's been some chaos. How have you all fared?
I don't know.
Well, we
You
fell in
tell
a
me.
hole.
He turns, looks over his shoulder. Well, I know that you were going to get evidence against Valencio. Did you succeed?
I'm sorry, we're just gonna play around the fact that you knew that. Seems like you've been spying on us.
Yes, I've been spying on you.
Some people won't take lightly to that, but I'm currently under the effects of one of your robots' amazing drugs. Don't know what it is, but it's really nice.
It's a simple etheric compound. It's a liquefied spell. So it'll wear off. You'll feel fine. No drugs.
Evil's gonna turn to the group. So should we like just hand everything we got over? What? I don't know the protocol at this point.
I don't think there is protocol.
No, there is no protocol. You can keep it. Does the evidence exist? If it exists, then I think the next part is apprehension. And then after that, completion. And then you all get your new ship. And you can go about your business and I can go about mine.
Who apprehends? him?
Well, as I said to the captain, you all are going to apprehend Valencio.
Oh,
Is this guy serious?
nope, I'm not doing that. Not as long as those two fucking clowns are running about.
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever get out of that one.
They seem to do a number on your units 1 and 7, if I remember correctly.
1 and 7 will be fine. They'll be operational in a few days.
Then have them
Yes,
arrest
they're-
Valencio.
Just make multiple copies and just have them flood his mansion and arrest him and drag him out and all that fun, whatever you plan on doing.
Well, if you'd like to give me the evidence, I can show it to the BDD, to Archipelago Council, and then we can issue a warrant for his arrest. I was hoping that we could have him captured already. But if you procured all of the evidence and you feel sufficient evidence for that process to take place, I would be willing to uphold my end of the bargain, build you your ship, and get you all back into the air.
Wait, you expected us to go through those clowns?
We can't be rebuilt like robots.
His eyes kind of go wide. He says, "No, of course not. But you're the crew of the Nomad.
Well, most
I'm
of
sure
us
you were
are.
going to be fine, and you were fine. So
We
my faith was
We're the crew of the Nomad. The Nomad no longer exists, more or less.
well. The
Kennelan.
ship that I'm going to build you is going to be fantastic. You can call it the Nomad or Nomad 2. That's none of my business.
I don't think you're understanding. We can't arrest Valencio. We just can't. Or even with proof, we can't get into his.
Also, it's possible we're being haunted by the jesters.
This we thing. It's mainly me.
So far. Let's hope it stays that way.
I hope
Those
you get a little bit of a
things-
taste of it.
Those things are
Fucking
aren't
terrifying.
they're not loyal to Valencia. They're loyal to Chaos and to Coin. If you capture Valencio, they'll desist.
I don't think they will. They don't seem like the type.
They don't seem like the loyal type either.
Loyal enough to fucking haunt me for a night.
I think they
Yeah, they'll
just
probably
like
just
that.
haunt you for the hell of it.
If they wanted you dead, they would have killed you. You're not dead.
If only we knew
Oh, they'd like-
someone with a lot of money who could pay them to stop chasing us. Too bad.
Well, it's going to be kind of hard to like outpay the treasurer of Grand Rise.
Well,
Yes.
former treasurer.
Yeah, but
No,
for him to
former
become former treasurer, there has to be a reason for him to no longer be treasurer.
Which is where you all come in and the evidence that you procured.
Why
Well, how-
were you thinking it's him?
I've had my suspicions about Valencio for a long time. After the events of the original hole, I think he's doing it just to get. He and I had a bit of a falling out, and I don't think he wants me in my position.
Yeah, what was
I
that
think he's
over, by
gonna-
the
Hell,
way?
falling out over what?
We had a unalignment of goals. He doesn't agree with my work. And I think that truly he just wants control of Aethra within Grand Rise. I try to keep prices fair, and I think that he doesn't like that. So he wants my job. Or to put a proxy in. But I wouldn't let that happen. It's a shame, really. I mean, who knows what other nefarious dealings he's had over the course of his time as the treasurer. But that's not important. What matters is that you were able to get inside and do what you did. And for that, you will be rewarded.
So why do you think he blew up the Nomad?
I don't know. He is afraid of... I told this to the captain. You all are going to be given orders after Progress Day, or clearance, I guess is the better word, to begin doing exploratory flights deeper into the blue.
Ooh.
And he never... Valencio doesn't like that. He thinks that what lies beyond the archipelago should be left out there. And I disagree, and so do many other people. And I think that he was willing to go to great lengths to make sure that there wasn't that wasn't going to happen. And unfortunately, that almost took some of your lives, and well, it's in the past now.
So we're going into the blue. Interesting.
You will be.
That's where we came from before.
No. You were in File Cooley collecting Aether for just to keep this hunk of metal floating. You're gonna Edberg is going to get clearance to go beyond the known blue and hopefully find answers to the mysteries of this world. Who knows how much of the world we haven't seen that I don't know, and no one can pretend to. There's potentially much more out there, and that's going to be your job.
I have a question. If this city always requires Aether to remain aloft, why does everyone live here?
I don't know, it was the first one. I think the Grand Rise is a symbol. Safety, society. Before this, everybody was just barely getting by on floating sky rocks.
Fair enough, it is cool. You can't beat the rule of cool.
Yes, I check it.
I just want to know if he knows more than he's leading on about other civilizations. 18.
It's just well, we do 1 second. There's a little bit of holding back. It does seem to be like a truthful statement, but at the same time, it's not. He's not lying. I would, like withholding, perhaps.
Be going places that other people haven't been before,
Well, other
or
people haven't been before that we know of, but you might. I mean, who knows? He fears that other civilizations may exist out there, and that expansion will bring war or something else, like a second Bright Bridge or all of that mess with.
there could be answers out there.
You know I love answers.
We dealt with the dragons, and he's afraid that there's going to be another something like that. He thinks that the best thing to do is to just,
Sit here and sink.
sit here and float while we can. But yeah,
Though eventually, if you stop going out,
there's only so much Aether. We can't make it.
have you ever tried?
Of course. Of course I've tried to make it.
I mean, you've done a hell of a job changing its form.
Yeah, surely
Manipulating-
something synthetic would work.
Manipulating raw Aether is one thing. But making it is another entirely. Even after everything that I've managed to do and learn, and I still have no idea where it comes from, really what it even is. And I suppose the academic response would be that it's raw magic, but why? I don't know. Neither does anyone else.
Well, we would love to help you out with your plan. There's quite a few hiccups that we have. One, those clowns will guaranteedly fuck us up.
Yeah, that's really the main one for me.
If your unit 1, 7, and 3, I think was there too. I'm not entirely sure. If they got their arses handed to them, then we definitely will. 2, I'm wanted apparently for multiple murders. That's news to me. Just found that out about 45 to an hour ago.
If you have the evidence, I will clear that up. Grease some palms, and once everything is made clear about Valencio, it'll be fine. And I'm willing to bend. I want this whole thing behind us. If your information leads to his wanted status, and hopefully his eventual arrest, even before he's arrested, I'll give you the ship. I've already returned payment to your captain, despite not receiving my shipment. And I'm willing to do that. I would prefer that someone, Edberg is a trusted friend, and you're all, I don't think he would use the word friends, but I would like it if someone such as yourselves were there to ensure the capture of Valencio. But if you're uncomfortable with that, I'm reasonable. I'll still honor I told the captain that I wanted evidence. I truthfully did not tell him that I wanted you to. I mean, I may have used the word capture, but I'm willing to vent.
Leovold kind of just sits down in a chair that's nearby, if there is one.
The robot butler guy has returned over the course of this conversation with a whole bunch of chairs and brought them down and set them out. He brought a couple high top little tables to create a little sitting area for you all.
He just sits down, looks at Darren and Alyssa, and goes, "Well, my fate's in your hands, so do what you want with it."
What? I don't. What?
I don't have anything that I took. I'm pretty sure Luna over there only still has that fucking diamond.
What diamond?
A big rock, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, I have it. I have this. He pulls it out of his bag.
You should. You stole that from Valencio's manor?
I
did.
We temporarily relocated.
Temporarily relocated.
All right, Luna,
Yes.
if you're gonna try and lie, just don't do that bad of one.
I'm not used
Hey, that's
to
not a
lying.
lie. It's temporarily relocated.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't plan on giving this back.
We don't have to as long as we change the location.
Yep, that's exactly right. And if I get to go on your ship, what? We're constantly changing location.
It would be temporarily relocated.
Yeah, all the time.
Or would it be just relocated because it'd be on a ship?
He didn't
Okay,
say why.
You can keep that, but I will say this. That gem that you have there is called the breast of the divine bitch. That is...
What? Hold on. Does it
Yes.
belong to Abatha?
I said what I said. That
Interesting.
crystal
Someone
there
better write that down.
is called the breast of the divine bitch. And it's supposedly a divine relic created by Shiva that not we, but that the BDD took from some worshippers of Shiva. If you intend to set sail, I would consider not keeping that on your ship.
How did Valencio get it then?
It's just a rock. Why wouldn't we
Taxes.
keep it on the ship?
That's a hell of a tax.
Are we just gonna?
But there's some people I don't want to piss off. Maybe we leave that behind.
Do you want
Yeah,
it,
we're
sir?
gonna piss off.
And Luna's just kind of holding it out. Tell him no.
I'd prefer for that to end up in the hands of somebody more magically gifted than I. I will say this: I am willing to purchase it off of you, but
But
I'm willing to purchase it off of you, I suppose.
you seem very hesitant.
Inside
around
check.
this rock.
Inside check.
Yes, I check.
He's like, no, I don't want to purchase that at all. I want that shit out of my house.
Oh, I rolled bad. I rolled a 7.
Oh my
He also did not roll. He had 4 on his deception. He is very clearly like, yeah, he kind of what Leopold said. He doesn't really. He's like, get that shit out of my house.
Maybe let's refocus, guys.
Yeah.
This
Like
seems
I
kind of
said,
important, to be fair.
Think that we should do.
it's up to you. I mean, you and Alyssa are the ones that have all the.
Okay, but we're
Information.
not the only ones impacted by this.
No, I'm just a puppet on a string at this point. Either
I
you
say we
hand
take
over
it.
some things
I want to
that
explore the blue.
clear my name, or you don't.
But do you want us to hand stuff over? Do people not want us to
I-
hand stuff over?
I don't have a say in it right now because it's
I'm
either
saying you have a say in it.
I'm either innocent if you hand over the things. If there's things you don't want to hand over, that's on you, and it's fine. I understand it.
This isn't a trial, though, right?
If it is, I'm shooting my way out.
Well, not for Leovold.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, no, he can clear my name if we hand over parts of the things that I took. It's
I
up
mean,
to you.
I would prefer that you hand over any evidence that you did procure, but if you don't hand it over, in good faith, I can still put in a good word with the Archipelago Council and the BDD. Having the evidence would make it much easier for me to convince them of your lack of impropriety.
Darren's, I think, gonna pull out the letter that's addressed to the fire starter and the like blueprints or the like whatever
Ledgers.
in the ledgers to start with, and we'll hand those over. Like, is this enough?
He looks over the ledger and he kind of whispers in Beth, oh, son of a bitch. And then he looks at the letter and he says, he kind of smacks with the back of his hand. He says, that's good.
Can I
What's
insight check his reaction? to
Yeah, you can give me an insight
kind
check.
of just like
I actually want to do a perception because is he like fast reading this stuff or is he like downloading it?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
insight check is
I wanna know
21.
if this motherfucker's.
His reaction is pretty fake, it seems to you.
Dirty
Ooh.
20.
There is his right eye. He has these like really bright, like unnaturally bright green eyes almost. I've already described him multiple times, so I try not to continue to overly describe NPCs over and over again if I already have. But long, platinum blonde hair, pretty much the picture of a high elf, kind of. But then he has these like incredibly bright green, practically glowing green eyes. When he looks at the paper, his right eye glows more, and you do suspect that there's something magical about his right eye, and he does read it very quick. He reacts he very, very fast. I mean, this letter, he kind of holds it up after slapping it. I think that's enough. Thank you. And he hands it off to the butler robot.
So now what? We just kind of wait around until the coast is clear.
I'm okay staying here.
Of course you are.
He all grabs his cane. Leovold, his cane has multiple etheric cartridges at the top of the handle, and it's got this like red oak center, but then it's wrapped in copper. There are like multiple tubes running off from the center of the cane up to the handle, and it looks like the Aethra cartridges feed into that. His cane does appear to be something, and
Yeah.
so do his boots as well. But he gets his cane, pushes himself up. I'm going to move on this immediately. I will say that my faith in you wasn't wrong, and I was already working on your ship. It will be ready for the end of Progress Day, and once the announcement is made to the public, all of you, the ship will be ready. You'll be able to take flight. Um, in the meantime, you're welcome to stay here. I'm going to move on this information as quickly as possible, so I'm going to see myself out. If there's anything you need, you can ask Unit 6 here. He points to the butler robot.
Um, where is he walking to? Because Leopold would kind of like just follow and have a brief conversation with him.
When he gets up, he turns and he starts heading to the center of the room. It's like 15 feet away.
He'll run along and just tag along, I guess.
What do you, as he starts walking away, and you
Um,
gonna follow?
there's
Alyssa's coming too.
Luna's coming too.
I'm going to shoot half my party members.
But Darren's not. That helps.
I said half.
Darren's like, I'm good. I don't want to go back down there.
I think she's eyeing everybody going, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think Damien's chilling. I don't think you'll.
I just wanted to see what Leopold wanted.
Right. Okay, it's gonna be awkward silence for a while.
He's walking with this heavy limp. He gets to the center of the room. He says, you're welcome to, he looks at the 3 people following him. You're welcome to accompany me if you'd like. And he reaches over and he waves his hand like in the air. And as you're standing there, the floor shifts. And then this like surround portion
Did
of
his
the floor.
hand glow when he did that?
No. Nothing happened. It's a very subtle, just a little wave of the hand, and then the floor kind of releases some pressure, and then it begins to descend down. You go down a story or two, feels like, maybe, and then lights come on as these copper tubes buzz to life with this like light blue light, revealing this like kind of steel chamber in here. There's a bunch of pods on the right wall, 10 of them. 2 of them are closed. The first one and the 7th one. You can figure that out for yourself. And then in the back wall, like all the way in the far side of this steel chamber that you now find yourselves in with this glowing, hissing kind of blue light that has illuminated the space. The back wall, there's a large desk or table of sorts that just goes end to end. There's like a swivel chair sitting there in front of it, and then just like a bunch of mechanical shit just kind of sprawled all around. All these different schematics and stuff on the wall. Just this big, crazy, mad scientist wall in the back. And on the left side, there is an array of robotic apparatuses. I really don't even know how to. There are like factory robotic arms and stuff. These like big spherical based
Prosthetics.
not prosthetics, but like these working arms. And there are these so like they have a sphere base and then like a multiple hinged robotic arm that comes out of them. It's probably about 7 feet tall, and they're just sitting lifeless on the left wall. And next to them, there are these stands, bases, these big metallic bases that sit there with some sort of contraption above them that hangs from the ceiling, copper wiring and stuff running throughout it with a light blue glow. He immediately starts moving back to the end of the room towards the desk. Do you talk to him, Leopold? Or do you just let him...
I want to kind of follow, but at the same time, he's looking at everything in this room in... How would I describe this? Familiar amazement.
Give me a history and or arcana check.
I am good with both of those. I think history would be more appropriate for him.
They would elicit slightly different information, sort of.
Okay. History was a 22.
There is a level of like reminiscence. It's very familiar to some of them. It's progressed past a point of familiarity entirely, but it's very reminiscent of some of the facilities that you may have found yourself in at different points in your career.
He's just taking deep amazement as he's following him, and once it gets, if he sees the schematics, he like takes a big interest in it.
Do I notice
There's
that
schematics
this
in the
seems
back.
familiar to Leovold?
Insight check, and then Leopold could do a deception check if he wanted to.
19.
Sorry, what did you get?
19.
So did I.
Yep.
What's your bonuses?
Oh, I only
Okay.
got a +2, dude.
To
Kidding me?
insight, +4.
All right, well, Alyssa wins the tie then. So you can. There's definitely like a moment. He does try to contain his outward response, but there is a moment of bright-eyed wonder that you notice that stands out to you. Leopold doesn't usually. He's not. Stoic may not be the right word, but.
Irritable. But when he gets to the schematics, he
across
kind of
the
like
room.
looks.
Right.
Oh no, I was just telling you, he's like, he runs over to the schematics once he starts seeing them hanging on the wall and like thoroughly looking over them.
There's a lot of them. I'll keep
I almost
your history
forgot
check.
why he was gonna follow. Honestly, at this point,
a lot of the schematics pertain to etheric distillation and the process of converting aether into other forms. And there's a lot of like failed schematics on taking solid aether and then trying to distill it down into greater forms. It looks like there's a lot of work. This is based off of your history check that you previously rolled. He has a lot of schematics on the wall pertaining to taking solid, raw aether, refining it into physical, refined aether that's been sorted out. The process of taking that and refining it to liquid aether, that's been fine. He's been trying to figure out how to turn it into a gas. That hasn't been. It looks like there's some failing in there. And then beyond that, there's schematics for all manner of various like magical sort of items and golems and automatons. Give me a perception check.
me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 17.
You do notice there's like some schematics that are kind of it's like a bunch of like, it's kind of this like pegboard wall. It's not literally pegboard. Everything down here is like metal, but he has this wall in the back and there's all these drawings and stuff that have been like just pinned to the wall. You do notice that behind some of the ones that are in the front, most of them are about the etheric distillation process. And there's some that are about like automatons, golems, different constructs, magic items. Beneath some of them, you do see some drawings that look to be about the. You don't roll quite high enough to get the full picture of what he might be trying to achieve, but it does look like something to do with like the humanoid form and converting it into a robotic / android type form. He goes over, he sits down at this table, he slides down, he spreads the papers out in front of him, and he turns and he says, is there anything I can help you all with?
No,
How
nothing.
long-
Just taking in the view here.
How long is it going to take for you to do all that as he stares at all the schematics?
Not long. I just wanted to organize the information before I reach out to my contacts in the BDD. Probably not long at all. A few minutes, maybe 30 minutes or an hour tops. I guess it depends on how frustrated I get as I start to really delve into the information before me. I work best,
Alone? Yeah, I got that. Are you going to be leaving, or are you going to do some type of road? You going to send a robot or one of your servants to pass this information on, or are you doing it yourself?
He moves his hair back, and he has this copper earpiece. He taps it. He says, I'll be sending the message once I'm situated and I know what I want to say. Not quite there yet.
When you got a free moment, I'd like to have a in-depth conversation about some of these things on your wall.
He leans back in the chair, takes his cane, kind of puts it between his legs. It's a lot. Feel free to peruse. A lot of the greatest minds I could find and my own have worked on all of this. It's a bit of a mad dash, so if you can make any sense of it, then consider yourself one of the best. You could ask if you'd like, if you're comfortable saying it in front. He looks back and like fucking Luna and Alyssa are like,
He like the moment he saw the schematics, he kind of like he forgot that he was there to ask something. It derailed him 100%, and he just goes, "I'll see you in about an hour or so," and slowly walks out. But he doesn't turn around. He just keeps his eyes on the schematics until they're too far away. Then he turns around and he starts muttering under his breath, and he's like looking down at the floor, contemplating. He's in deep thought in something, but he just like returns to where they came if he can.
what do Alyssa and Luna do?
I think Alyssa is just wandering around looking at things. So she might eventually wander out, depending on how interesting everything is.
You looking for anything in particular? I will say a lot of it like is above your character's
Yeah.
potential for understanding. It would look like, a whole lot of something, perhaps. Why don't you give me a perception check or Actually, I'm going to say it's actually investigation.
Alright, 18.
Before I answer, is there anything in particular that you as a person or Alyssa as a person is interested in?
I don't think so. I think she's just kind of generally interested in how the tech works.
You wouldn't be able to find many answers to that particular question. I think it'd be above your pedigree. However, you would see the same stuff that Leovold saw. Obviously, there's not, you don't know that he saw it. But you do see behind some of the papers on this mad scientist wall that give you the sense of like trying to turn a person into a non-person, trying to take a person and make them be robotic. You don't really know what or why or how any of this stuff works, but that's kind of the sense you get. You see Leovold back up, turn on his feet, turn on his heels, go back to the elevator, ascend back up. Hemdall kind of looks back, sees you two just kind of looking around, and just turns and starts going through the stuff that you've given him. Luna, is there anything that you're doing while you're down here? Or anything you want to say to Hemdall, perhaps?
No, Luna's kind of was following wherever Leovold was going. So that's kind of.
Do you leave with Leovold, or do you stay?
I leave with Leovold. Leovold doesn't know that he has a new stalker best friend now. So
I'm pretty sure he figured that out when you were inside his clothing.
so Luna's just following around Leovold. But also Luna's kind of like not touching anything. Luna doesn't really like metal, so he's trying not to like appear like he's got a visible apprehension towards it, but he's kind of sticking to himself.
The whole chamber down here the floor is metal, the walls are metal, everything. You feel the cold embrace.
Your fucking worst nightmare.
Yeah.
When you get back to the elevator with Leovold and you can feel the wood, you feel better.
Yeah.
And you and Leovold ascend up. Hemdall continues his work as the lister kind of goes around. Eventually, Leovold and Luna ascend. What is Darren and Damien? What are you guys doing in here? Or what have you been doing? Because there was probably a period of 10, 15 minutes, something like that, where you two were here by yourself. Obviously, there's the fucking robot butler. He's like standing there.
I feel like Damien would probably be like meditating a little bit, probably relaxing after like everything they've been going through.
It's kind of a chill space. There's like this, if Darren's not talking, like if everybody's just kind of awkwardly sitting, there's just like the sound of like the trickling streams of water. There's like a little bit crescendo of the waterfalls coming off of the landing from the ship that kind of fall down to the second floor, then run down into the ship, and then kind of cascade out of these holes, probably just down into the blue or something. It's actually pretty calm space, assuming that Darren's not like freaking the fuck out or anything. So meditation here would be pretty easy. Darren, what are you doing?
I think Darren's gonna take her journal out and just start writing down as much information down from today, especially the past few hours, as possible. Just like recording it methodically.
So there's the sound of this nice trickling water and the fall of the water, and then just the fucking scribbling of Darren. As then eventually you hear the whir as the elevator comes up, you hear the hiss and the release sound as the elevator settles. Leovold and Luna return into the space. Hemdall's going about his business down here, Alyssa, as you're like still kind of walking around, perhaps. He eventually would stop and turn and say, is there anything I can help you with? Anything you're interested in?
So I'm imagining, like, this idea that I'm getting that he's trying to turn a person into a non-person. Is this from like a specific schematic that I'm looking at?
There's a few different schematics that kind of have like a humanoid form kind of spread out. There's one that's like organic, like it looks like an organic person. There's like organs and stuff, and like there's a heart and a brain. And there's another one kind of hidden behind some papers. You can only see like the top half, and it is a humanoid form spread out like that
Leonardo,
iconic
the
picture of like
perfect
the man with the arms.
Da Vinci's
It
perfect
kind of
man.
looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like that. And there's one that is kind of outfaced that you can make a pretty good picture of. That is just like an organic human, and then not very far away from it, there's one that's kind of buried. That looks like it looks more familiar to one of the unit NPCs. And there are like there's some, again, it's a little bit above your pedigree, but you get this sense that like ideally there's something that he wants to achieve there, maybe, or something like that.
Do I notice any similarities between the stuff in the drawings and Heimdall himself?
Give me a insight check or Arcana.
Well, that's a 6.
He appears to be an organic person to you.
Okay. I just think these schematics are pretty cool. What are you working on over here?
I will say this. The only thing I'll say is that he's obviously in some way disabled. It's hard to tell exactly what's wrong. You can tell that one of his legs is obviously damaged or deformed or something, which maybe your character might think would be a motivation for this line of thinking. But that would be the only thing.
Okay.
With that being said, he's obviously assisting that with a cane, so it's not too crazy. You ask him that question. Can you repeat that for me? I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said that these schematics look pretty cool. What are you working on?
A lot. With my work, Blue Gear, constant expectations of new ideas, new evolution. Recently, I've been trying to figure out a way to make an automaton that will be helpful and easily accessible to the common man.
A noble goal.
Yes, but the refinement process for the Aethra, well, I've managed to distill it down to a point where it's accessible for me. Generating the purified, refined Aethra to power these constructs is an expensive process, and I haven't been able to figure out yet how to get it into the life of the everyday. But hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. That's been my main goal as of late.
Interesting. Well, I'll get out of your hair then.
Oh, it's. Thank you.
And I'll leave and go up the elevator.
You go back to the end of the room, and you notice
Actually,
the elevator. The
before I
elevator's
leave-
gone. Go ahead.
I want to insight check what he just said. Like, does he have
Yeah.
another goal? And I'm never gonna find out because I got a 9.
He got an 8 on his deception. So yeah. Definitely, there's something else he wants for sure.
Okay.
As you go to the back of the room, the elevator's already been raised. Uh, you kind of wait there for a second, and then you see, maybe you don't see, I guess it depends if you look back or not, but Heimdall notices you waiting, and it depending on whether or not you're looking at him, the elevator eventually descends, and then you get on, go back up. What are all you guys doing up here? Amy is meditating, Adarin's writing in her journal, Leovold and Luna.
Leovold would go straight to Unit 6 and ask, is there a private quarter that I can do some work at?
Certainly. What type of work would you like to do?
Similar to what Heimdall does.
He would stiffen up and move in this kind of janky way and say, right this way. And then he would start to walk to the back of the ship out to the right onto the walkways outside. These are made out of like a white stone, perhaps marble or granite or something. There's like gardens on the sides. You kind of go down this pathway down to a center little plaza. There's a fountain there and gardens all around it. Bunch of robots going around. To your right, you can see one of the iron golems, the one that was previously cutting a tree. It's now sat under the tree and it's just like looking up. He turns to the left and he goes back to the cathedral. He goes to the northeast corner. He goes to the door. He opens it. He waits for you to enter inside. And after you enter in, he takes a step in, closes the door, turns to you, says, right this way. And then he goes into the middle room. This cathedral thing, it's made out of this painted glass. There's like a ton of light pouring in that appears like it's not natural. So there's like this like purple and red and green and yellow light pouring into this bottom floor from the walls. That's not coming from like outside because it's nighttime. So that's not where that's coming from. It's just sort of like a foyer, like but big. I mean, it's like probably 120 feet wide, and there are stairs that go up, and there are stairs that go down. And he turns to the left and goes down into this lower chamber, into like these hallways, and he turns and he opens up a door that goes into like a bedroom. And here there is a craftsman's type table. And as you enter into the room, he says, is this room to your liking? And is there anything that you would need to complete the work that you hope to finish?
I'm assuming when he enters, this is like high expertise crafting gear, not the shoddy shit that he's accustomed to. From
Yeah, there's
back
like
on the moment.
as far as like the tools that are available, and then some of the stuff that's left behind, it's all nice.
Okay. Kind of just sits there, jaw dropped for a second, and just gives him a little bit of a list of some of the things that he's capable of creating, and then he's gonna make a separate list of experimental things, materials that he wants to try and incorporate or try to make a very, very, very rough version of the schematics that he looked down at. The Aether to gas one, to be exact.
The I'm sorry, what was the one?
The Aether to gas form that he was struggling with. That's mainly what Leovold's going to try and work on right now, since he has a few things that simulate gas, kind of in a way. So that's what he's going to be working on.
You give him this list of things, and Unit 6 will turn to you, assuming this is stuff that's like within your item or class.
Yeah.
He will say, would you like these fabricated, or would you like for me to bring the components?
Sorry, it's a little strange. Fabricated, please. Much appreciated.
Which ones do you want fabricated?
So the ones that he would want made, if possible, is the containers and everything for the restore powders, and a few grappling hooks. And then the other one that he's crafting that he's going to take the time to build is a new prototype firearm. That's going to take a long time.
Of course, sir. I will get you these components for this ballistic device, and I will have those other devices fabricated. I will return shortly. And he turns, kind of closes the door softly, and disappears. He'll return in about 30 minutes with the components and with however many of those things that you wanted him to make.
Okay. In that meantime, Livel just preps the area for trying to figure out a way to make raw ether into a gaseous form.
Give me an Arcana check, and then also he'll bring you 2 grappling hooks, and then roll a D4 plus your charisma, minimum of 1.
Okay, so D4 plus 2. Hey, look at that. That's a 4, so that's 6 total.
So he comes back 30 minutes later with the components for your experimental firearm that you have listed, any tools that would be needed in the craftsmanship of that, 2 of the grappling hooks, 6 of the healing cartridges, or bombs, or whatever you want to call them.
I would just be like, deck me out, 10 of each. But you said what type of check you wanted me to roll?
Arcana.
Arcana. That's really good. Arcana plus 6. That's 25.
So you set to work on trying to figure out.
Using his schematic and what I have knowledge of and the book that I have, try to like mix and match.
And you, as you're working on that with your book that you took from a place.
Yeah.
Over the course of the night, do you take a long rest?
Eventually, yes, but it will be very late into the night. I definitely will be the last one to wake up.
You take a lot of time, but towards like the before you start to get to the point where you're like just reaching exhaustion, you do think that taking his schematics and looking at what you've previously worked on, you do think that you've kind of solved a part of the puzzle of turning it into a gas. You think that it has to do with like the sheer quantity. There's not enough energy for it to be broken down into a gas form without just releasing the magic in a way that would just be chaotic. A lot of the schematics fail because taking it from the raw form to the refined form to the liquid form down to the gas form results in just a combustion. There's like a failure. But you think that with a ton of Aether or with like an incredibly potent Aether, you might be able to achieve the gaseous form. And while you're doing that, in the book that you have, there are some notes on black Aether, which isn't something that you've actually ever really had access to. That was like beyond your pedigree. You start kind of digging into that, and that's when you would start kind of reaching the point of like you're literally passing out. The rest of you guys would be given rooms if you so choose.
Luna doesn't. Luna's not going to sleep on the room. He's going to sleep on the roof.
I feel like Luna's like in my head. You're like curled up with the golem that's looking at the trees. You just go out on the roof of the pirate ship?
Yeah. Luna prefers like night sky, kind of like,
You get up there with relative ease. There's like pretty thick vines and like hanging plants. They're able to kind of ascend to get up there, and you're up here like high up in the sky with just countless stars, long streaks of purple and pink light, two hearth and helm high in the sky. It's towards the end of the month, so they're both full with helm just kind of peeking out from behind hearth, and you eventually fall asleep. Probably earlier. That sounds pretty nice to me. The rest of you guys, do you take rooms from Unit 6?
Sure.
Yeah, I take a room.
I mean, before that, I think Alyssa is going to join the robots in playing music.
Are there any like inns nearby? Or are we like far away?
We're on a floating palace.
No,
dude.
you're like, you're in a floating compound, palace, castle, weird thing, floating garden. So no inns. There's like literally no other people here besides you, your party, and Hendel that you're aware of, at least anyway.
Yeah, I guess I'd sleep in one of the rooms then, but I'd probably be a little cautious.
Unit 6 would show you to a room. He would just bring you to one of the ones upstairs. So into the cathedral, to the wide open room. There are like little seating areas, these little alcoves all throughout the space. It's not really, it looks like it's just like a comfortable party room, really. I mean, that's the only thing I can really describe it as. You go upstairs, and he goes down the central hallway. There's a ton of rooms on the sides. He brings you in the rooms, opens it up, and it's just like, top of the line, lavish, huge bed, like velvet sheets, super comfortable, incredibly nice. Clothes, everything you could really want. And Unit 6 will also get you, literally, if you just like, I want this thing outside of like a magical item, a mundane item, he'll be like, yeah, I got you, dog. You want the whatever the fuck you just asked for, you got it. And that extends to Alyssa, who sits down, she plays with these robots. One of them's on the harp, one of them's on the guitar, and then you have a wind instrument. You have like a flute, right?
Yeah, I have a flute.
So it
It's
actually
like a
works
weird
pretty-
flute, though.
A weird flute.
That's what
Yeah,
she
it's a
said.
weird flute. It's a contraption. It's a thingamajig.
You sit down with the robots and begin to play before eventually settling in to a room, perhaps, if you want to. Darren, do you
Yeah, I'll take a
take a
room.
room?
Yeah, I'll take a room. I think once I get in there too, we'll go through the book of sending a little bit. I think specifically going through the whatever Valencia has talked about with the vice captain.
Give me a history check if there's any other NPCs, and you can kind of like throw out like a random idea for an NPC, just like I want to know this person. It could be like anything. Otherwise, I'll just generate a list of like ones that I think are important. Because you've gotten some good history rolls in the book. If you can't think of any, that's fine. I'll come up with a list. And then the history check will also pertain to what you just asked for.
I don't know how far back this book goes, but if there was at any point the previous head of the Lamplighters in it, I don't know if he would be or they would be, but I'd be curious. I think you mentioned Captain Edbert is in there too,
Yep.
so then you'd want to look at his as well. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Nah, just chilling with Rhodey. I'm looking at the Discord. Give me that history check.
It's not great. Do 11.
Not great. You did some previously really good ones. So you asked me for what their conversation previously looked like with Viceroy,
Mm-hmm.
or the Vice Captain, rather, Roy. Um, there are some notes underneath, just similar to like the other NPCs that we've previously talked about. There is one date on there. Ba, 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 ba.
I'm loving it.
It's set. Well, this isn't going to mean a whole lot to you because I haven't really pulled up the calendar yet because we haven't really had a whole lot of time that has passed, so hasn't been relevant. But it could be relevant, and it'll be relevant, I guess, right now. There's a date. It says 8th Zalas, which is Zalas, which is a month. 196, and then it has a little dash. And this is the only note on here outside of his name and his rank and everything that's on there, like the contact information. And it says, owes a pretty big favor with a smiley face. Give me a history check. You just rolled a history check. I'll say you can give me one more pertaining to this thing.
That is 16.
So okay, that's actually pretty good. After like sitting and thinking about it for a little bit, that the 5th of Zalas of that year was when the original whole Paris attack occurred. And this is 3 days after that event. What that means, you don't know, but and then as far as Edberg, there is 2 lines. It's a question mark, and then it says 200 gold stipend to an address. Question mark. Like 2 question marks around the sentence. 200 gold stipend to an address. Question mark. Let me write this down really quickly. I love my NPC page. The address, I'm gonna write right here. Is House Hythul so it says House Hythul, comma Ethrul. Ethrul. And then below that, there is an exclamation point. And it just says, absolute disaster. Don't work with him again. And what was your other question? It was the other question was previous lamplighter.
Yeah.
You do know his name already because I didn't actually say it, but you know it from the detect thoughts on Rhodey. Do that. I'm not going to write this down because the guy's dead. But he does have a contact in there. His name is Vendril Aethra. The item that's in the little pouch is a small sewn doll. And there are a couple notes on there. There is one note that pertains to some type of business dealing. There was a transaction between Vendril and Valencia for a pretty large amount of money, like a lot, 25,000 gold, but it doesn't specify why, and there is no date or anything. It looks kind of worn and old, so this was probably a while ago. And also, Vendril's contact information is kind of on the front half of the book, and then below that, it just says, "Rather unfortunate." As you guys all begin to go to sleep and rest for the next day, there is there's 2 days for Progress Day begins. You fall asleep aboard the floating gardens, and that's where we'll end the session. And we'll see what the fuck you guys do next.
Do I get
I will
to
say
click
this.
the long rest button though?
Yes, you do. I'm not going to make you roll.
Oh.
No clowns. You guys are safe up here. Way too many golems.
Too many golems.
As I will say this, I can see it going one of two ways. You guys can decide as a party to assist with the arrest of Valencio. The potential rewards of that being like magic items and stuff like that, and just, we'll fight some things. Or we would probably honestly just have a time skip, really, with like some social interactions, probably with the captain and then Heimdall and any other, whatever the fuck you guys want to do. And then honestly, what would probably happen is that Valencia would probably get arrested off screen, and Progress Day would come and go, and you guys would get your ship, and then we would begin the exploration open world part of the campaign. So you guys can decide that amongst yourselves if you'd rather. I wouldn't blame you for wanting to get to just the high seas portion. If you wanted to just, kind of, I'm not gonna. We can role play and talk to them. We can do as much of that or as little of that as you want to, or we can continue with the more, in the dirt portion where we're, if you want to help with the Valencia thing, you guys could choose to do that. Now, obviously, Heimdall will come. He'll talk to you, and you can be like yes or no. And we can, we'll do all that stuff. If you choose to do that, the pace will continue to be, we're going to do that adventure. That might take several sets. It's going to be a dungeon sort of experience. And then we'll hopefully survive and then do the other part.
That would be good, yeah.
But if you guys choose to not do that, because it sounds like you kind of are leaning that way, there's gonna be I will say this, there will be because you guys are taking your involvement out, the result will be left to chance at that point. So how good or how bad that goes will be left to the dice. But regardless of that, he has agreed, unless it's like catastrophic and like something crazy happens. He
We roll
has
a nat
agreed.
one on arresting Valencio.
I roll like a 100 on a D100, and like the fucking clowns come and murder you. But,
Everyone.
like, yeah, the whole everything.
Oh, it's the clown apocalypse.
Yo, if a clown gets on one of these fucking golems, I'm just jumping.
Outside of the clown apocalypse, we could just kind of do a little bit of, you guys can interact with the world as much or as little as you want to, of course. But we could do like a little downtime, like, a week passes, progress day happens. The head of the Aethra Academy makes the announcement that you guys are going to be this new expeditionary force. They have this new cool ship. You guys get on the ship and you fucking leave, and we go get the rest of the crew and follow up Cooley. And then we have the whole crew together. You guys meet some new NPCs, and we start the open world portion. And that would be kind of like the end of Act 1, or we continue Act 1 and we kill Valencio. And this is, I don't
I
usually
thought we
be
were
this
arresting Valencio.
kill, arrest, whatever.
I will fucking put a bullet in his head.
I'm not usually this forward, but I will say that those are kind of the two current paths that I see as the
The
DM.
paths I heard is, you want some magic items, you're gonna have to work for them. Do you not want magic items? Fucking time skip it.
Yeah. It's effectively, do you want magic
So do you
items
guys
now?
want
or do you
magic
want
items?
them
I
later?
got mine.
I got my fucking cool cloak, dude. I don't need it. I'm good.
I mean, if y'all
I want to fight
something from 'em-
Valencio. Personally.
I want to fight the clown.
I
Yes!
don't want to fight the fucking clowns. but
They're
I
Chekhov's
will.
clowns now.
So that's all. So just consider that for next session. There's those. I see
Alyssra
that.
does not want to fight the clowns, but Judy wants to fight the clowns.
So I see that as the two, and obviously there's like always like 900,000 different things that I don't know are going to happen. You guys always end up fucking surprising me. But those are the two obvious choices I see. So just keep that in mind for how, because we could just, I'm excited to get to the part where we have the ship and we start doing bullshit,
I want to go fucking Grand Rise. It has not been good to me at all. Fuck this place. I'd never want
Fuck
to come
that
back.
place.
Fuck Grand Rise. I'd rather live on a Stone Age civilization floating island than be at this
We
fucking
never saw the
place.
snake people again. Damn it.
There's a hag somewhere in here, okay?
I
that's
know.
like
Don't you want to know where that is?
No. This place has fucked with Leovold so hard, he's like, never again.
So you guys decide, think about it. Do you want to, I wouldn't blame either way. I think, dungeon crawls are always great. Magic items are fantastic. That continuing that narrative is fun. And also there's obviously there's kind of a lot of dilemmas here, and Darren hasn't actually told you guys about it. So,
Yeah.
I don't think Darren is that forthcoming about secrets.
Darren does
Anything.
not seem very forthcoming about secrets.
I'm going to keep this shit to myself. You guys don't.
I have to have a clear answer before
citations,
I tell anybody else.
He's like, I'm not gonna tell these guys this shit. We're gonna get a boat. It's gonna be great. We have a new, really nice guy on our side. Look, he's making us stuff. It's fantastic. This isn't a big bad evil guy.
I don't think she views him as a good guy at all.
Full on evil.
I think she's acutely aware that he has more to do with this than he's leading on. But she's also, he said one of the few things that I think could have pulled her in, which is gonna explore the rest of Blue.
Yeah, he's like a warlock patron. He's like, yeah, go do what you want.
Do my bidding.
Yeah. No, never mind. I didn't say that. He's a good guy. I like him. He's nice.
All right, so our next level up, we all become his patron. How's that work, huh?
We become his
We're
patron. Wow.
You just all get cell phones and you can call up Daddy Hemdall and be
Hell
like, Daddy
yeah.
We all get the
Hemdall.
copper ear.
Yeah, Daddy Hebdall, make me stuff, and he's like, yes, my children.
You gotta say "Hey, bitch" before you call him.
Hey, bitch.
Fabricate me some shit, and he's like, right away.
Oh, I might tell them to be like, listen, I'm gonna need like 10 of each of these.
Do you want infinite
Yeah,
healing?
Leopold will bankrupt Heimdall.
Fuck yes, I will. But I also will like probably advance some of his.
You'll also make him a
Merits.
ton of money. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be fine. You don't even worry about it. Get your boat. We can start. So we can meet the rest. We haven't even met. Like, there's like 7 NPCs back on this fucking rock that we have to meet. We haven't even met any of the good ones yet. I'm really excited for Yelma. She's gonna be awesome, dude. I'm ready. I'm like, personally, I'm like, let's just fucking time skip it and get on the boat and start flying around. But
I want to fight
Yeah.
the clowns.
I want to fight the clowns too.
I mean, again, it's a fight, so there's always that risk of death, but y'all get magic items.
The clowns are like I don't have them like I don't have them written down, but I know their mechanics in my brain, and they're like they're super. I think they're really fun. I think they're going to be super cool to fight.
If I can't shoot them, then we're fucked.
You can shoot them, and like I don't want to. I can't speak. I can't.
Don't give us anything, but that's my only concern is like when you're like, oh yeah, they're not really corporeal. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to fight that?
We have to fight them with our hearts and minds.
Nope, this is not.
We have to beat them with the power
We
of
gotta
friendship.
fight them with money. We give them money.
We're all gonna put our hands in.
That
and,
also
like,
would
write
work,
something
yeah.
on there.
Chaos. I mean, maybe we could convince them.
I can
with,
fight
like,
with chaos.
Like, hey,
If you guys recruit the clowns onto your fucking ship,
Let's do it.
We recruit our own versions of Laughing Jack.
you
I
recruit.
feel
you
like
just have
I
these
feel-
chaotic clowns that just like
we could spin it. I feel like we could spin it of like, hey, you guys like chaos. Like, what's more chaotic than turning on your boss? And we can get you another source of income. Heimdall is like
The man now.
Heimdall is like payrolling us, and
he's gonna
Somebody
take your
else-
boss's job, dude. Let's
yes, he's probably gonna take over. So if, like, we'll put in a good word for you guys, or you can just come with us and make money.
Valencio's out. Heimdall's in. Get on board.
Be
As
chaotic
a
with
laughing.
us.
we're gonna see how that goes. I think maybe. You guys as a group try to make a decision.
Put like some type of poll in the chat or
I
something.
could put a poll.
Sure.
I could put a poll in there, to expedite it because I think we're at the end of that. We're at the end of Act 1. We're leaving. We're almost leaving tutorial. We can stay in tutorial for a little bit
I
longer.
didn't know we were playing Kingdom Hearts 2. Fuck.
Yeah, we're playing. Yeah, absolutely.
I never got out of the tutorial, so I guess I'm not. Have fun,
I
guys.
was gonna say, oh my god, this is Kingdom Hearts 2.
You're like,
Hey.
Hayden, why are your tutorials always so fucking hard?
Still Roxas over here. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, dude. Why don't we go buy some fucking ice cream? Yay, for 4 hours we'll buy ice cream and get jobs. It'll be so fun.
Yeah.
And then you play the one game.
I don't want to be the hero who fights Heartless. I want to have a career and buy ice cream.
Hey, it's nobody's in Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's true. You got
I mean,
me.
you still fight Heartless, but
That's a good game.
they add some additional lore.
That's a good
And
game.
then Organization X or whatever, I don't
Game.
remember. But yeah.
When they just really start fucking with you and you're like, wait, I have to buy a fucking Nintendo DS.
Nope.
There's an app. I have to get an app. All right, I'll see you guys. I'll talk all night.
All
Take
right.
care, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, see you next week.
Good night.
See ya.